Welcome back. So early in our Tai Chi progression, if you are in class or here, hopefully you're stumbling across this early on in your Tai Chi progression. After you have a little bit of structure, i.e. you've done a little bit of standing, and you can start to move your center around a little bit, like in our standing course and our movement vocabulary. One of the earlier lessons that you'll probably get is some form of a Tai Chi walk. Yang style is known as being kind of a medium frame in general, i.e. it's not the highest and narrowest and it's not the lowest and widest, it is somewhere in between. It is where we have been basing our horse stance on, our Ma Bu, basically getting that roughly shoulder width apart. This is where we are going to set our width for our Tai Chi walk. We are going to try and maintain this width the whole time we are doing the walk. Now, to get into a walk, surprise, surprise, we got to put one foot in front of the other. To do that, what we're going to do is we are going to start by transferring all of our weight to one side to free up the other one. Basically, we're going to start Ma Bu, sinking down, transfer all of our weight to one side. It doesn't really matter which one. Now that basically all of our weight is over here, this leg is totally free to do whatever. And what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to basically just allow it to turn out about 45 degrees. And I do that by transferring my weight over and then basically sinking down, like screwing this leg down into the earth, allowing this toe to turn 45 degrees. When I do this, I want to be very careful that my knee is still traveling straight over my toes. This is one of the early movements that we are learning. Therefore, we want to establish good habits early, and this is one we're really going to check as we are starting to move our center around off of just two legs and into some single leg stuff. And we really got to make sure that knee is staying absolutely in line with the toes. So I sink down into Ma Bu. I transfer all of my weight to one side. My knees are in line. As I sink down, I gotta rotate here, open this hip up so that my knee is still traveling straight in line with those toes. These ones are now up on about a 45-degree angle, and all I do is simply let them go and flop down onto the ground. Okay, not slappy, right? We're not trying to be loud. We're trying to be sneaky little ninjas, right? So I just let that come down. Now I want to transfer all of my weight over to this standing leg. Notice that my hips have not changed their orientation. When I was back here, when I started out, my hips were straight. Transfer all my weight, allow that leg to sink. This opens my hips up. My hips are now facing out to the corner. I put this foot down. I transfer all my weight. My hips are still facing that same direction. When I can't possibly get this rear leg any straighter, all I do is I draw up the knee a little bit, allowing my foot to come in close to my standing leg. My standing leg has all my weight. It's all centered here. And I'm drawing this leg to stay close to this so that my balance is in check. So, rear leg, draw it in. And the way this draws in, I'm not dragging it across the ground. I'm not picking it up and dropping it down. I just want to gently bring it in. If I can, basically have it just the the tiniest point of my toe just gliding across the ground. You can pick it up a little bit or more, but just as kind of an awareness exercise, this is one of the main benefits of doing this exercise in general, this Tai Chi walk, is we're being very precise about our feet and paying a lot of attention to them, because we just want to gain a heightened awareness of our feet and our balance in Tai Chi. It's one of the primary goals, and honestly, it's probably one of the things that, you know, a lot of people come to a Tai Chi class seeking. Now, starting from the beginning again, Mabu, horse stance, about medium size. Bend the knees, sink down into it. Transferring my weight. Allow my toes to come up. Reorienting my hips to the corner. Place down my foot. Transfer my weight to that leg. Once I can't get this rear leg any straighter, I can't transfer any more weight, I lift this leg slightly, letting it come along the ground and come in nice and tight to my center. So this leg is still 45 degrees. This leg is still straight ahead. And as I step out, I want to keep that going straight ahead. So this leg is just going to step straight out. And if I can, I want to get the toes up. So I get the heel, and if I just give it a little bit of forward force, because this is a ball and socket joint, my foot is going to want to go and sort of swing out. So forward and let it swing. Forward and let it swing. Now hopefully I'm not disturbing my balance with that. I'm not throwing my foot forward like this. I want to give it just enough to get it to swing and place the heel down on the ground, toes still pointed straight ahead. Let that foot come down. All of my weight is still in this rear leg. I could pick this up, place it down, let the toes come down. It's safe, I'm secure. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer about 2/3 of my weight forward. As 2/3 of my weight come forward, still keeping the knees bent, still keeping the hips level. As 2/3 of my weight comes forward and my rear leg is mostly straight, you can see that my hips have come all the way back around to face forward again. So they are facing off in the same direction as this front foot. We can see there is still width in between my legs, hopefully relatively close to my Mabu horse stance. And that's how we take a Tai Chi step. Again, starting out here, sink down, transfer all of our weight to one side, allow the toes to come up as I drive down into that standing leg, knee goes straight ahead. Allow this foot to come down. Now, thinking of knees, make sure this knee is going to travel straight along the line of those toes. That's going to help make sure all of our weight goes smoothly into this foot and stays grounded. If this knee is off in a weird direction as I transfer my weight, it's going to throw me off here. So this knee is in line, this knee is in line. Transferring my weight smoothly, letting this leg take all of my weight. Once my rear leg is straight, I bring it in gently, nice and close to my center. Hips are still off on a 45-degree angle. I drop my leg, let it swing out this way, heel first, and it just opens up naturally and relaxed. Placing the heel down on the ground, toes are still pointing absolutely straight ahead. Safe, I let my foot down, still good, excellent. Now I can transfer my weight, about 2/3 of my weight come forward, straightening that rear leg, and everything squares up to the front. Try and be as precise as you possibly can about getting that straight ahead alignment, 45-degree alignment, straight ahead alignment. The extra time we take now working on this and these sort of precision alignments, shifting our weight, is going to be time we don't have to spend doing that while we're also thinking about our arms and all the fun and funky things we're going to do with those. All of this base is going to be the same for all of that stuff anyways. So this gives us a great opportunity to just focus on these details, make sure this is just driven into our brains, driven into our bodies. We just feel this. We don't need to worry about this. This is just done. And then when we start learning Tai Chi, like the proper forms and stuff like that, then that just kind of becomes choreography. So again, let's go back to our horse stance. We're going to do this one more time, and we're going to take another step. Woo, brace yourself. It's going to be exhilarating. Feet shoulder width apart, pointing absolutely straight ahead. Bend our knees, sinking down. Transferring my weight over to this side. Allowing my toes to come up as my body turns from the hip, right here, 45 degrees. I place my foot down. It's safe. Great. Now I can transfer all of my body weight to this side. Pull in this leg, keeping it close to my center of gravity. Foot comes forward, and with the heel leading, swings out. Placing the heel down, no weight on it. Allow the foot to drop. Totally secure, excellent. Then we move slowly by transferring about 2/3 of our weight forward, allowing everything to square back up. I'll try this from the side for you. Feet parallel, sinking down, still straight up and down, tall through the top of the head, transferring my weight, sinking down into that leg. This foot is on about a 45-degree angle. I place the foot down. Once I'm sure of my footing, it's totally safe. I transfer all of my weight. I'm still 45 degrees to the corner. Hips are oriented there. I draw in my rear leg, keeping that nice and tight. I step it straight forward and allow it to swing out, placing my heel down first. Allow my toes to drop. They should be pointing straight ahead. Then I transfer about 2/3 of my weight forward. Check. Make sure our knees are going in line over our toes. Awesome. From here, all we do is we've got 2/3 of our weight here, 1/3 of our weight here. We're going to reverse that. So we're going to basically pull 1/3 of our weight back. This is going to give us enough freedom that this leg has very little weight on it, that we can pull up the toes. And again, by sinking down now into this leg, opening up the hips to the corner, I can now orient this foot at a 45-degree angle. I allow my foot to come down to the ground. Check, make sure, footing safe, secure. I'm not going to slip, I'm not going to fall. And then I start transferring all of my weight this new front leg. Straightening out my rear leg. Once basically all of my weight is here, I can't straighten this anymore. I pull it up and bring it in tight to my center of gravity. My hips are still pointed off in this direction. My torso is still pointed off in this direction. This front leg is still pointed forward, but it's the only thing. And then I just repeat. I let this leg come out, heel down, toe up. It naturally wants to swing out to the side because I got a ball and socket joint here. I allow my foot to just come to rest on the ground. If it's totally secure, then I start to transfer my weight. About 2/3 to this forward leg, 1/3 in the back leg, straightening it out. Hips come forward, right like that. And then it's just rinse and repeat. Back. Transfer all of the weight. Go forward. Okay. I tend to go way over on details on these things, and I'm going to try and keep this one basic. So the last thing that I'm going to say on this one, for the time being, we will come back to it, we will visit it more, is what we end up kind of getting here with our leg as we transfer solidly onto one leg and the other leg is freed up. As it comes in and then goes back out for the next one, we should be getting the almost semicircle arcs. Don't try and make them perfect, more just let them happen. It is because we have a ball and socket joint here, it is round. Our legs are going to kind of want to do this. So if I just take my basic step here, hopefully you're going to be able to see this. I'll try it a few times. So I'm back on a 45-degree angle here. I transfer here. I've got 2/3 of my weight here, 1/3 of my weight here. I transfer, pull my weight back until this leg can open up. I'm orienting here, 45 degrees. I place this foot down. I'm transferring all of my weight here. So now if I kind of just speed run this next bit, not doing it in a Tai Chi way, hopefully you're going to see this foot will kind of come in, straight out, and then arc. So it should come in and form a little almost semicircle as I do this. If you've ever seen this in a book, it tends to be drawn as a perfect semicircle. Don't worry about trying to do it as a perfect semicircle. Actually, it's more just see if you can get a just casual feeling as you step through here. Like as you speed this up, it should look more and more relaxed, essentially. So back. I just want this leg as it swings through to just be totally relaxed. I'm not trying hard to move it in a semicircle. The semicircle is the thing that is just happening because I'm just basically keeping it relaxed. I'm being lazy. I'm using as little force as I can to pick up that leg, and I'm just going to let it swing through, and when it reaches the end of its arc, I'm going to put it down. All right. Let it swing through, and then put it down. If I haven't said it before on this channel, I'm going to say it a million times. Tai Chi is a lazy person's art. I take pride in the fact that I'm extremely lazy with my Tai Chi, and hopefully I can impart some of that laziness into yours. So, be sneaky, be lazy, and go for a walk.